Is it better than 2020? I don't know, maybe it is already. Happy New Year. I wanted to start the year out right, and not all of this new year, new me nonsense. I wanted to talk about the life changes that you may think about in the new year. So whether you're maybe starting a new job, looking for a new job, or you're thinking about switching up your style, or purchasing more items that you think feel more like you, I think this is a very good time to talk about investment pieces. I've read a lot of articles that talk about what your investment pieces should be, the items that you should purchase and invest in, i.e. spend a lot of money on, to have in your closet as staples. A lot of people, though, run into the trap of spending a lot of money on something that they think they should have and invest in, but they never actually use. Today, I'm just going to walk you through the items that I have invested in personally, and I would consider my investment pieces. I know that the same is not true for everyone, but in my experience, these are the things that are going to give me a longer wear time, going to provide me with the most value, and it's not necessarily something, although you're investing in quality, it's not something that you have to purchase designer. And please don't feel like you need to go outside and purchase outside of your means to buy designer items that you can't actually afford. If you're purchasing that designer trench coat because you think you need it to be a young professional, but really all you're doing is racking up credit card debt, it is not worth it. Investment pieces also rely on where you live and what you do. Someone's investment pieces in New York City, for someone who works at a law firm, are gonna look a lot different than someone who, like me, lives in a suburban Canadian city. It just will not match. So even when you're reviewing articles or listicles that talk about the kind of investment pieces you should be making, think about whether or not that is actually applicable to you. You should be trying to sort out the lifestyle that you live or want to live, and then invest in pieces according to that lifestyle. First step, one that I think is very important in a Canadian winter, is a good quality, very warm winter coat or parka. This may go without saying, but you need to have something really warm in a Canadian winter. This one is a North Face jacket, but if you are looking for a vegan parka option, there are a few available to you, and if I find some, I will try to link some below. This is a bit of a shame, actually, because I got this in gray because they didn't have red, or they didn't have another color. If it were me, well, it is me. Next time, in the next, 15 years when I'm looking for a new coat, I still want to look for a color because I like gray, but I would prefer something a little bit more flashy. But the important thing with a winter coat is that it's going to be a little bit more expensive to find one. It will likely cost you a couple $100. If you can find a deal, even better. I waited for a big sale that was going on at a sporting goods store near me, and I purchased it on that day when I knew that it would be on sale. So I think I got this one for $150, which was actually quite the deal. But I was willing to pay a little bit more for a very warm coat that was going to last me a long time. And in Canadian winters, you can't really have a thin coat. You just can't. Sometimes it goes to -30 and you just need to be warm. And this coat feels like wearing a sleeping bag or a duvet, and it's nice and snug. So this is definitely a must have and worth investing in, because something like this, if you're going to wear it every day, you're going to wear it out into the snow and it's going to keep you warm, you will more than get your investment back. Moving away from the frigid cold of winter, I think in addition to a winter parka or jacket, everyone should have a cropped or full-size moto bomber leather jacket of some style. Now, this could be real leather. This could be vegan leather jackets. There are a lot of great vegan leather options now. I just think this is one of those things that if you're not sure what to wear, or you're not sure really how to complete your outfit, chances are that if you add a leather jacket on top, it completes itself. So this is one of those things where real leather and vegan leather jackets can be expensive. And the best thing you can do is invest a little bit more in a quality piece, because you know it's gonna last. And leather jackets have not gone out of style since, I mean, they've really been around. They haven't gone out of style. The good thing about leather jackets too is that this is where my shop vintage plug comes in, because yes, you are going to spend a little bit more money to have a quality leather jacket, but if you find it at a vintage shop or you find one that you've thrifted, that quality is likely way higher than something that you're going to get if you shop fast fashion or if you get like a pleather version. Next is a leather or vegan leather small backpack or crossbody bag. I'm talking a medium size. This one is S&Q. This is a vegan leather bag. I also have a gray Matt and Nat vegan leather bag that I got in Quebec City when we went on our East Coast road trip a couple of years ago when, you know, traveling was still a thing. I find these types of bags extremely helpful when you're just popping out for an errand, or if you're out for a day shopping with your friends. I mean, I don't use these obviously as much as I used to prior to the pandemic, but I know that once this is under control and we're able to have a vaccine and see each other again and go out more, these are my staple pieces. And what's really good about this bag too is that they're always deceptively small. When you actually open it up, there's a lot of space in here. I have fit a water bottle, an umbrella, a wallet, keys, phone, camera. It's just a great way to bundle all of your stuff, but still feel like you're maintaining a semblance of style that you want. For me anyway, that's at least what I do. So if you're looking to invest in a bag, I would certainly consider smaller backpack or leather crossbody, just because they don't go out of style and they're very durable and you're going to have them hopefully forever. So I'm willing to spend, you know, 150, just under 200 bucks on these types of things, because I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of them. This video is a bit all over the place because I'm just sort of naming things that you should invest in, but it has no real rhyme or reason. It's just sort of whatever I thought of at the time. The next is to find a tailored, high quality blazer that fits you well. And when I say fits you well, that could be in any way that you want it to fit you. So I don't necessarily mean entirely form-fitting or fit and flare. You could go for a more drapey silhouette if that's what you want. You just want to ensure that the shoulders fit you where your natural shoulders are. And for me, I know it seems kind of strange that at the beginning I'm just like, you have to shop for your lifestyle and invest in what's suited more to your life and your work. But for me, a blazer is very suited to the work that I do and the style that I like. Much like a leather jacket, a blazer can really complete a look, whether or not you're in a professional environment. So this one is not black. It is actually a pretty subtle, almost denim color, navy blue, and it's got a check pattern and a really beautiful silk lining. And for me, having a very good quality structured blazer is something that I can invest in, but also get a lot of use out of in the future. So when I'm talking about these investment pieces for me, I'm thinking like 10 years down the road. So will I spend over $100 on something like this when I know that it's going to last me the next 5-10 years? Well, yeah, technically, because if I'm doing my strange mental math, that's 10 bucks a year. So you're essentially thinking, if I wear this once, that doesn't make sense. Math has never been my strength, everybody. This is why I'm doing this. Get a blazer. You won't regret it. There are a lot of blazers available at vintage and thrift stores. And if you buy a size that sort of fits you, but not quite, you can get it tailored to how you want it to fit. I've seen blazers, very, very good quality wool blazers at thrift stores for $2 that you can then spend $30 and tailor, and then it's still cheaper than a lot of blazers that you could buy new on the market today. So just something to think about. This is a great investment piece. In my opinion, everyone should have a blazer because you don't want to live your life without one, and then for whatever reason you need one day and you don't have one, because finding a blazer last minute, it's actually not as easy as it sounds. Next is activewear. I was never someone who would tell you prior to 2020, invest in good quality activewear, simply because I was not active enough. And I wasn't home enough to really care about what I was wearing to exercise, or even what I wore to lounge in either. What I've come to understand is that investing in quality, sustainable activewear is a good investment, even if you only buy one pair of leggings. I'm willing to spend a little bit more on one singular pair of good leggings than I am to spend money on just sort of $30 leggings here and there, have a bunch that just take up space and I can't use that often, and then eventually end up giving away or donating. It just doesn't make financial sense to me anymore. So I was willing to invest in a brand that was sustainable, that had a good product, and that I know I would get a lot of wear out of. Next up is sunglasses, and this is a bit ironic and embarrassing, but I don't know where my sunglasses are that I was going to talk about today. I do think buying one singular pair of slightly more expensive sunglasses is a good idea, because when you think about the light that your eyes take in, even on a cloudy day, that does affect your eyes. Did you know you can get sunspots on your eyes? I invested in a pair of a very classic style Ray-Bans. I don't know, I'll put a picture of them here. I'll see if there's a photo of me wearing them, and if not, I'll just put like a stock image photo of what they look like. But they are very high quality sunglasses that I know I'm gonna take good care of. I mean, I'm definitely gonna find them and then have for many years. So when it comes to my eyes, I really don't want to mess around. I want to have good quality sunglasses that can protect me from the sun's glare. All right, last is a good transitional coat. And the beauty of a transitional coat is that when you're moving from your giant parka to your summer clothes, or from your summer clothes to your giant parka, you want one of those jackets in the middle that can keep you warm when it's a bit colder and keep you cool when it's a bit warmer. And I'm gonna level with you here and just tell you a secret. I have an addiction to transitional coats. I have maybe 15 more in various closets in my house. I'm not proud of it. Actually, I am pretty proud of it. They're nice coats. I have this patterned jacket that I got, maybe at the beginning of university, so that would have been 10 years ago? I got this a long time ago, back when I used to shop at Zara, and it does have a wool outer shell, which I really like, and it had a classic vintage design. And again, I've had this coat, it's fast fashion when I used to shop fast fashion, but it's a coat I've also had for 10 years. So I remember spending a little bit more than I wanted to on this jacket at the time, but it has certainly served me well over the years. I talked about this coat in my most worn items in the pandemic video, so I won't chat about it too much, but it's just a bomber style quilted jacket. I spent a little bit more on this because I knew it was black, it was a neutral, I would probably just be able to throw it on over everything, and that has turned out to be the case already. Another item that I find personally very important to invest in is good quality shoes. Shoes are very easy to buy very, very cheaply from a fast fashion retailer, for example, but those shoes that you buy for $5 might only last you 5-6 months, maybe a year. I'm personally at this point in my life looking for shoes that I can wear indefinitely until I literally wear them out, because no matter what, I'm looking for something that I will continue to wear all the time. These are just an example of two materials I tend to look for. These are Bueno leather shoes. I got them from Art of Home in Cambridge, but you can also buy them anywhere online. I just really like them because they are pure leather, they're flats, they've got an interesting design to them and a color, and once you break them in, they're broken in and they are very comfortable and they will last a long time. In addition to that, suede is quite good. I've got a lot of use out of my suede shoes. You just have to make sure you protect them against the elements. When I think about quality shoes, I think about my mom growing up, who in the 90s and 2000s still had shoes that she had purchased 10 years before that and continued to wear for another 5-10 years after that. Quality footwear is so important, and it is worth investing in. These are the vessels, essentially, that are going to accompany you through your life. Consider also vintage stores for shoes. I know some people have a bit of a concern with vintage shoes. A lot of people can wear vintage clothing, but shoes are one of those things that people can't quite sort of mentally get over, you know, wearing someone else's shoes. But one thing important to note is that vintage stores also carry a lot of what's called dead stock. And that essentially means it's in its original packaging a lot of the times. It may have original tags and it's never been worn. So when you see the word dead stock in front of a pair of shoes, look into that pair of shoes, because you essentially can wear pieces of art that have traveled through time just to get to you. And you can be wearing shoes from 50, 70, 60 years ago that kind of make you feel like a time traveler. So those are my items that I consider very important to invest in, and I'm glad I have invested in, but what are yours? Let us know in the comments below. I just want to mention as well that investment means something different to everyone. I'm not saying necessarily that you should spend over $150 like I did on a bag just because it's an investment or because I say it's an investment. It's an investment for me that is within my means, that I know I will get a lot of use out of. But if within your means means something different and you can't necessarily afford to spend hundreds of dollars on an item, like I said, try to thrift it. Look for materials that are good quality and that will last, and just do your best with what you have. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. There will be a lot of new things happening for my tech wardrobe in 2021. Hopefully. I love how all YouTubers say that and then, you know, they release their special projects and stuff, and I often wonder, like, how many times do they actually have that planned? They just say something like, ooh, interesting, exciting things are happening, and then they hope that's the case? I'll let you decide which one of those I am. Bye.